What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and some more Hail Caesar coverage here. So we got a really exciting one today. That's the Arthurian British list. So it gives you guys, of course, the feel there of some of the sort of semi-historic, semi-mythical Arthurian era, but sort of with this, I'd say, more grounded approach here for Hail Caesar, and as much of what a realistic army would have looked like at that time. So interestingly, it's going to combine a couple different things for us here as far as the way the game designer worked on it here. So it's going to be a mix of native Britons with some possibility of including some German warriors as mercenaries of various types, and also including some interesting sort of throwbacks to sort of that very late Roman era and how that would have then gradually morphed over time. So we'll have some interesting army building possibilities here, and some of that is reflected in the heavy cavalry that we'll see. So as far as composition here, so we'll see that we do have to have at least 50% infantry and at least 10% cavalry. So you're going to always have a little bit of both. Now, certainly a lot of infantry. You could go exactly 50-50 and have a very balanced force in here, or just lean ever so heavily into the infantry bit and maybe just make the cavalry a minor component. So some interesting flexibility there, but certainly, as always, your army is going to be at least half or more infantry. And then the divisions here, so 4+, fairly standard stuff here, but must include at least 4 units, excluding skirmishers, and led by the commander as normal. And then also there can only be 1 bodyguard unit, and this must be from the general's division. So federati must be organized into 1 or more separate divisions, which may also include skirmisher javelin men as well. So keep that in mind. So let's get into the list proper here. Not overly long, but we do have a couple interesting bits in here, certainly, that make it worth looking at. So first up, British medium infantry with spears and shields. So your bog standard medium unit, normal size, nothing special, nothing fancy, 23 points. But we do have several upgrade paths that are possible, upgrade and downgrade paths rather. So first up, we can reduce them to field British medium infantry as levies. So it gives us a pretty solid 3-point discount. It's just you're stuck with the levy special rule there, but again, could be a way to sneak more units overall onto the field if you are going to make up for it in other areas. Alternately, we could make British medium infantry veterans exactly 1 unit. So in any kind of force, really, since it's a one of, might as well actually take that route. So that is going to, of course, cost us 5 points. But interestingly here, so again, just simply making them veterans is actually also going to bump up the clash and sustain to 7, as if they were heavy infantry, which I have to believe is a typo, potentially, because the other upgrade is to make them heavy infantry for an extra point. They do get the better morale save, and then the clash and sustain is the normal heavy infantry feature there. So again, it is interesting that the medium infantry vets do have the 7s there, so that I don't know if that's really factored in with the 5-point upgrade or not, but certainly worth taking advantage of. And then really, it's probably worth that extra point just to get that 4-up morale save out of that for the other heavy infantry upgrade. But rather than doing this all in like 1 unit or something like that, I think the idea there is that you would have 1 of each, just to spread that higher end top tier unit around a little bit more in your force. So then we get to the Federati medium infantry warband with swords and javelins, 24 points here. So keyword medium warband. Usually we tend to see quite a bit of that in some of the lists we've covered. So here, 24 points, again, clash of 8, so throwing some solid dice, medium infantry profile aside from that, and we do have the javelins as well. Then, again, next unit here, light infantry archers fielded as a small unit, only 1, so this list overall is going to be a little deficient in any long-range shooting, so you have to really sort of make up for that in any close-range action and really hope the combat situations favor you in close combat situations. So typical light infantry archer unit there as a small unit, so nothing fancy to look at there. The sort of basic skirmisher package that most armies get. We do get some more bows here, so a little bit more long range as skirmishing small units, and then a javelin option as well. Again, very typical. No slingers here. And then we get into sort of some of the heavy hitters on the cavalry side. So again, well worth considering maybe not just running 10% cavalry in this list and really bumping that percentage up, because you do have access to quite a bit of light cavalry, although unfortunately only that one heavy cavalry unit. So again, given that it's only the one unit of bodyguard ones, excuse me, I was reading that wrong. So plenty of heavy cavalry, excuse me, and then just the one bodyguard unit. Again, anytime something as really truly elite, pun intended here, is available, well worth taking. So first up, regular unit 9-6, again typical heavy cavalry, 4-up morale save, and they're elite. So elite in quantity here. Again, fill up, I would say really go 50-50 in your list here and just have unit after unit after unit of elite heavy cavalry. Yes, super expensive, 33 points, but again, when your default cavalry unit is elite, that's never a bad day. And then again, that one bodyguard unit, nothing on the stats change, but we add tough fighters for 1 extra point. Yes, absolutely well worth taking, making that sort of centerpiece of your army general's bodyguard. And then light cavalry is also pretty special in this, and somewhat unexpected. I wouldn't have expected maybe feigned flight in a sort of British list of this time period, I guess. I'm not sure, but anyway, light cavalry with javelins or spears as small units, so you got some options there. Again, your very typical light cavalry small unit profile, but for 19 points we still actually get feigned flight, so that could lead to some interesting situations, and used correctly, hopefully we'll get the enemy into some bad positions where you can smash away with some of your best infantry and the sort of heavy cavalry hammers that you should be throwing at them. Now on the commander side here, guys, your typical leadership 8. Let's see if we can get this actually somewhat aligned. There we go. So, typical leadership 8, so wouldn't have expected 7s in this, but we have that rare chance to have leadership 9 in this list, which really takes this somewhat simple force here and actually makes it a pretty nasty opponent, or just nasty list to field against someone if, again, used correctly. So for 25 points we can have a leadership 9 general. So if you're going to be playing this, you really should just be taking advantage of the leadership 9. Absolutely superb. There's only a limited amount of lists throughout the game that give you access to leadership 9, and certainly I think of this time period, so that will take this rather, again, somewhat simple list and again, just use correctly, put it over the top. So let's summarize real quick here. So access to leadership 9, just excellent heavy cavalry in quantity. Again, you have an option to have that truly excellent bodyguard unit there for that extra point. Very good light cavalry, so even though you only have to have a minimum 10% cavalry in your list, and you could go all in on infantry, really the cavalry part is, I think, better, just simply for, again, elite heavy cavalry. What more do you really want? If there's a deficiency in the list, it's just a lack of ranged, but I think that's going to be mitigated by the fact that you should be pretty aggressive with this and smash people in the face with your heavy cavalry, and then back that up with your various medium infantry and other war bands and stuff like that. And again, you have some pretty solid options there to take your one unit of medium veterans, and then also a veteran heavy unit as well, I think, if I understand the upgrade path correctly there. And if you wanted to be cheap, you could still have plenty of medium infantry levies to make more room for the heavy cavalry. So again, I wouldn't really go not all in, but just overboard with trying to get the missile component worked out on this list. You should just be, again, aggressive, I think, and smash away and rely on that wonderful leadership 9 to just, again, be a little bit more aggressive with your orders and hopefully line up charge after charge after charge. And really, not a lot's going to constantly stand up to heavy cavalry charges, especially elite heavy cavalry, and other things smashing away. So But let us know what you think, guys, of this Arthurian British list. Do you think they should have maybe included a little bit more sort of folklore and mythology flavor into this, or kept it more somewhat realistic as this is here? So would you have made any changes to the list? Let us know in the comments, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. Take care.